Hello, my name is Valarie McKinley. I've been with the Home of Grace and involved with them since 2005. Currently serving as the Executive Director. Home of Grace began in 1973. It was the vision of Mrs. Doris Woods Littleton, who started the Home of Grace for women in her home in Saraland, Alabama. And the story goes that she eventually was basically told by the neighbors and the city there that she needed to not have those ladies there in the neighborhood. People did not want those people living in their neighborhood. And so as a result, Miss Littleton began to look for a place for the Home of Grace to be on a more permanent basis. So she came here to our beautiful property in 8 Mile, Alabama, and she found about 40 acres with a couple of buildings on it. And so she began to pursue and that dream of being able to have the Home of Grace for Women where it currently sits. Now, if you come out here on our property today, you'll see many buildings where this program goes on. And one of the visions that she did not get to see fulfilled was a family housing for women who had children. And she knew that that was a great need for ladies. Today we have a test pilot program that we use for women who have their children, and so far that has been very successful. These ladies have went on to be able to secure housing after they've been with us for a period of time, had their families restored, working jobs today. So we know that that dream that Miss Littleton had was indeed a God-given dream, and we look forward to that day when we're able to see that family housing unit built. The mission of the Home of Grace is that we provide a 90-day rehab center for women ages 18 and older who are struggling with substance abuse. When we say a comprehensive program, we mean a program that is designed to work on every area of a lady's life: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, all the ways that addiction touches someone. We tell the ladies that if you leave any of those doors open, that you will find yourself quickly back into that same shape again, and oftentimes worse. So we work on every one of those areas in the 90 days that the ladies are here. Now, we know that at the end of the day, it's Jesus. It is that spiritual part that is going to truly set these ladies free. But we know that we do have to deal with all the other ways that addiction touches their lives. So our mission is to be able to return that lady back to her family, back to her community, back to her home there, so that she can be back what she was created to be whenever she was first formed. You know, the challenges of addiction are really no different than they've ever been. One of the greatest challenges is in the challenge of finance, because many times people do not reach out for help with their struggles with addiction because they don't have the financial means to. There are millions of people that are struggling with addiction. The statistics tell us that only about 10% of people ever reach out for that help, and generally finances is a huge barrier for that. So here at the Home of Grace, we have a saying that we don't turn anyone away who is actively wanting to be free of substance abuse addiction. And so what we do is we do a lot of fundraising here at the Home of Grace. We're dependent upon churches, the individual donors, to be able to help us to do this mission. So it does take funds. It takes funds to pay the utility bills, to feed these ladies, which is a challenge. We do have the privilege of having many of our facilities that's long since been paid for. One of the beauties of having a facility that is celebrating 50 years, but the ongoing daily needs of utilities and food. It costs about $6,000 to put a lady through this program, and providing the counseling and the classes and all that are taught by certified counselors. Some of those things, those are the necessary funds that we must have. So what we would ask today is that you are moved by these stories that you have heard today, the testimonies that you hear, and we ask that you would do what you can. Every bit helps. Financing is always the great struggle of a nonprofit, and so we do rely on churches, individuals, organizations, businesses to be able to help us. The Home of Grace is an easy place to invest your life, to invest your passion, and the reason why we say that, not just myself, but the wonderful staff that we have here at the Home of Grace, is the joy you get to see in a lady having her life restored, seeing someone who is at the very bottom and being able to see their life completely turned around in every way. I can't even tell you what that does. It's really, it's something that we're passionate about here at the Home of Grace, and it's something that we feel called to do. And just being the hands and feet of Jesus, the privilege of that, it is a joy.